What's up, Rebels? What is up? Who's in the chat? What is up, everybody? See here real quick. We have got Greedo and a Speedo. We have got Mr. John Joker, Gary's Grails, Downfall Wrestling, and I've got my partner here, John Joker, sitting right here in backstage. Let me throw him on real quick. What's up?
What's up? Hey, Downfall. Hey, Greedo. Hey, Gary. How you doing?
Nice.
Little Tasman. Dave's Dimension. Hello. What's going on, brother?
You just met, buddy. Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah.
What is up?
Not much.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic.
I'm doing great. I was just waiting for this about what we're going to talk about, this time travel stuff.
Brother, we are talking about time travel today. It's going to be freaking awesome.
Heck yeah.
I'll make sure I get a few more people in the chat here first. Dave's Dimension. Hello. Downfall says, hey, homie John.
My little homie there.
Blue Sasquatch says, is this live? Yes, sir, it is.
Hey, Blue. How you doing?
Dave's Dimension says, lightning never strikes twice.
In some places.
Absolutely. Time travel. Of course I'm here. Awesome.
Here, give me a moment.
Yes, sir. So we're waiting just a few more minutes because this is going to be good, guys. This is going to be good. Just give us a few more minutes. We get a few more people in the chat. John, how was your day?
Doing good. Just had some appointments and stuff like that. One was for the baby, and then the other one was for me.
Okay.
Gotta take care of that.
Everything all
back.
good? I mean, what's that? Your back?
The back. I mean that. Hi, Blue Eyes. It turns out I have a little bit of scoliosis on my low back region. So
that's not good, bro.
So when I got injured, it kind of aggravated the area where it's kind of curved. So I might have to do a specialist, a scoliosis specialist or whatever it is. So
wow,
maybe
not good, bro.
Maybe they can align me right. That's what she said.
All right. Well, without further ado, my buddy Dochtav Ravenscaw is getting ready to hop on.
Cool.
You guys will get to meet. What's up, brother? He's gone. He must have got struck. Thunder must have struck, man. I have to hop back on again. Let's see.
Yeah, Dave, everything's good with the baby belt. Baby's healthy. So
awesome, brother, awesome.
I'd rather be with the back pain than the baby not being healthy. So back pain all the way, baby healthy all the way. That's
awesome.
Blue
Sasquatch says I just have to get up to 88 miles per hour. Let's try this again. What's up, man? Let's see if we can hear you. Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dochtav.
I can hear you guys.
You can hear us.
So weird. I've never been live before.
That's cool, man. Yep.
What I'm doing.
John Joker there is in the middle. John Joker, meet Dochtav.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, finally. I've heard a lot of things about you. Rebels is an asshole. He talks bad about you. That's why he wants
all the time
to apologize.
He knows that. No, he knows that.
No,
I'm kidding.
It's good stuff about you. Good stuff about you. Great stuff. So.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right. Okay,
we got one rule.
One rule: don't strike thunder in the building.
Yup.
Rebels, some rules. Yeah, at work. For everybody that doesn't know, Dochtav works with me at my shop. The whole glove story with the Rebels, some rules. That was me and my buddy Dochtav here.
That was great. I never seen an industrial fan stop on point before. That was great.
Yeah, so there are some rules. Yeah,
Some rules.
some rules. So we have been talking about time travel, guys, and I know I've talked to both of you gentlemen about it. And I'd like to ask the chat if they think that time travel will be possible in the future. If you guys think time travel will be possible in the future, give me a thumbs up. Poor Dochtav works with Rebels, you poor, poor man.
Who's it?
That's Mr. Dave's dimension.
It's a thing.
Does Dochtav have a forklift too? Yeah, yes, we both use a forklift.
We should,
And it goes 88 miles per hour.
It does when there's no rules. I love the end game when Tony said he turned into a baby, didn't he? What? Okay, so Downfall says yes. Dave says yes. They believe in time travel in the future. So we've got 2. Anyone else? I hope it is one day, Gary says. Okay. Well, I've got 3. I've got 3. That's not too bad. You know.
can I
What you
smoke
got?
on here, Ed?
4 or 5.
Do what? Do what?
Can I have a cigarette on here? Is that it?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm about to drink a beer here pretty soon. Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Quick,
Of
throw
course.
one
Of course.
this direction.
So I don't know if I can do that. Let's try. Hold on. John, can you pass that to Dochtav there?
Sure. Here, I don't know which way to go.
Man, if we that's what she said. That's what she said.
Here? Here.
Hey, if we had this plan where we all had a Miller Lite, that would be badass. If I handed it to John and John hands it to you, that would be badass.
See, that,
So
I
now-
was going to say that. So we'll do it next time.
Yeah, I've done screwed it all up though.
So you know how we're talking about time travel, right? Oh, there goes the time travel.
Yep.
So you know how we're talking
I have
about
no
time
doubt.
travel,
Yes, sir.
right? And you know how comic books kind of do the whole time travel thing and different verses and all that?
Yes.
Well, since we're waiting for more people to come, this is one of the things I wanted to show you.
Okay.
Let me get it first because it's not out. Hold on, there we go. So let me share this real quick with you so you can show it. Since you and I are big collectors of it. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay.
The Superman
Oh,
Prime
man.
McFarlane.
Now, is that Superman Prime or is that Superboy Prime?
Oh, it's Superboy Prime, I'm sorry.
Okay, you're okay. That's killer, dude. I love it.
Yeah, that's one of the new ones that came out that they announced yesterday. So I'm like, I had a feeling he was
That's
going to make
freaking
that.
Sweet.
So if he's going to make that one, I hope he makes the Reign of Superman,
Yes.
or
Yes.
Superman. And
Yeah,
I want
like
him
the
to make all
cyborg.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And
I want him to
Steel.
make all 4. Yeah, all 4 would be nice. So
Man, that's
Um,
freaking cool.
let me take that one off and let me show you the
Yes.
other one. Oh, let me see. Give me a moment here.
Okay.
Catch this thing level. There
That's
we
what
go.
she said.
Uh,
Dochtav, I like your shirt, man. I like your shirt.
Yeah, I
Thank
was
you.
going to say, I love that shirt.
Hell yeah.
This army.
Here's the other one. Remember the one I've always been wanting him to do? He made it.
Is that Lobo? Oh, that's Lobo. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
He's making it.
Oh,
Ah,
that's too cool.
I gotta have that. I have to have that.
Both of them are beautiful.
Yeah,
Gotta
yeah,
have both.
That reminds me of a game I just got. Have you guys seen? You guys remember Jack Black's old video game, Brutal Legend?
Yes.
Yeah,
I remember
think
it.
so, yeah.
PS3 game. I just got it. Just started playing it. It's cool. It's really similar.
That's awesome. Check out that Lobo. Blue eyes.
I see.
Hey, Blue.
Oh, it's sick.
Hey, Mark.
You say hi to the chat?
Is that Blue Eyes?
Look at that's Blue Eyes. Yep. Dochtav. So whoop.
Hi, Dochtav. Hi, John. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Blue.
Mark, I appreciate that. Blue Harvest Toys. Look at these sexy faces. I
I
might
know,
leave that up. I might leave that up there for a while.
Lobos' face looks sexy. Yeah.
And of course, Dave's mentioned, look, Lobo looks fucking sick. So we broke his F word virginity on the hoedown Sunday night. He dropped the F bomb twice.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I was like, wow, Dave's dimension said the F bomb twice.
Tell Mr. Dave, not yet.
Hello, drunk eyes. Dave's dimension says
Not yet.
Blue Eye says not yet. Not yet. He's Blue Heart says it's the meds from Look at These Sexy Faces. Mark, man.
After that, not bad.
Clink says hello, hello. And Dave Smith said Blue Harvest Toys. Hope you're feeling better. What Funko? I'm not sure about the Funko. I must have missed that one.
What Funko? Maybe saying what the F.
Maybe.
It's just the meds is making them
Possibly.
say different things.
Well, then he should be fun tonight.
Blue and Greedo.
Stop fucking swearing, Dave. You got me going.
Hey, Aiden.
Oh, hey, Aiden. They said hi.
Hi.
He said hi.
Let's watch our effing language, Greedo.
Oh, I see it now. Oh, also, before I forget, I have Greedo's brand new channel pinned to the top of the chat. So if you guys get a chance today, please go over there and subscribe to our good friend, Greedo and the Speedo.
All right, I already hit that friends and family.
Cool.
What the F?
I will do that after this.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. What the F word? What the F is happening here?
That's what she said.
That is what she said.
F is for fun.
I'm going back the two fucking future assholes. Already subbed. Thank you, Blue Harvest. Well, guys, like Blue Sasquatch said, back to the fucking future. Let's talk about this, man. This is going to be a long conversation, and I want to get the ball rolling. This is going to be awesome.
Let's go. Okay.
So first off, how do I? Okay, here it is. Wow. Okay, here we go. That's new to me. Okay, so first off, I believe a lot of people think that time travel will be possible in the future, and I believe that as well. I referred back when I was talking to both of you two about 1920. Back in the day in 1920, buddies used to talk about, they just got cars going, like slowly, cars were starting to drive. This was like a new thing. And I'm sure some cowboy, somebody pointed up in the sky and said, I'd like to travel there. I'd like to travel to the moon. I'd like to travel to space. And his buddy was like, dude, you're crazy. There's no way anyone is ever going to travel to space. That's crazy, Now, in 2021, not only have we traveled to space numerous times, but we now, if you're rich enough, you can ride with Virgin Mobile Lines to space and have a space experience, which would be crazy 100 years ago, even talking about that. And like I've talked to people about time travel before, and a lot of people have said, no way, that's never going to happen. That's crazy. Well, that has been said before, and I feel like it could happen. What do you guys think so far? Dave?
It could. I think it could.
John?
I mean, it's potential.
I mean, we've already had accidents happen with time travel, so to say that there may be time travel, I know that Dave's Dimension mentioned it once, and I think it's possible. It's just the way of controlling it. I guess the way they did it in Endgame, there's got to be a way to control it. Like Blue Harvest says, it's all true. Ask Kang. So
that's a good one.
By the way, I have a message from you from the past. It's a message from the past from Tasman. He says that he'll try to make it in tonight. He's not going to be able to. He has to mow his grass again. I don't know. That's deja vu to me, but he'll try to be on it tonight. He says
he does a lot of grass mowing.
Mm-hmm, that's what he's
he likes to take care of the lawn, so to speak.
Speaking of time travel and deja vu, what do you guys You guys ever heard the thought that deja vu is just precognitive dreaming? Like you dream of the future and you don't remember it until you're in the moment, and then you recognize it like, oh, I've already done this, but technically you dreamt it.
I believe that.
Yeah,
I believe
think
that.
I do
I've
too.
had a
I think
lot
I
of
do too.
deja vu. I've had
And
a
it
lot of
really feels real when I have deja vu. You know, it really does feel like I've experienced that before.
I think that precognitive dreaming thing. I think that's spot on, and I think that's why it feels so real is because technically for a second you already did do that.
That would be some Minority Report stuff, no? In a way, if you think about it. I mean, that's the best way to do. Like you're saying, maybe there's gonna be not time travel, but maybe that's gonna be the set for time travel. Maybe like what you're saying about the deja vu. Maybe there's gonna be something that the law enforcement officers might use to do a deja vu thing, to do like a Minority Report thing, and then from there we'll go into time travel. I mean, never know.
I got to read these two chats real quick. Gary's Grill says, I've never had deja vu, so I'm not sure. I've never had deja vu, so I'm not sure. and then Blue says, I had deja vu this morning. Oh, wait, it's work. I have that every morning.
Yes, I did, Blue. Yes, I did, Mark. I'm sorry. I did see them. Very beautiful. I always get my messages on Sideshow all the time. So that's deja vu right there.
So if you guys could travel back in time, is there any mistakes you would correct, or would you not want to correct anything because you're happy with how things are now, or worried about altering anything? Anything like that, guys?
You can go first, Dochtav.
Oh, okay. I don't. We've had talks about the time travel and changing things and things like that. I don't think technically we could, because it hasn't happened yet, and I haven't fixed anything. It's kind of like to time travel. Say I were to take my ear case here and chuck it off my balcony. But I wanted to travel back in time to do that, or to stop myself from doing that. But if I did go back and stop myself from doing that, that means I never did it in the first place. That in turn, I would never travel back in time to undo that. So I don't think it's possible to undo
Change
anything like specifically. Yeah, unless you go to risk, like if you went back in time to change a major historical event and you end up unmaking yourself, and that leads to a whole side conversation about the same paradox of you unmade yourself so you can't change it, and then so you didn't change it, so it happened, so you now are alive again and exist again, and then you go back and unchange it. It's this big loop of idea in my thoughts.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I was reading something here that Dave's Dimension put too. He said, if I go back in time to change something, then how could you go back to change it? The grandfather paradox is what he's calling it.
Yep.
So what do you think about that, John?
Well, the way I see it,
I don't mean to put you on the spot. I just want us all to have this conversation.
that was very good, Adoptive. I can't. Well, no, actually, this is what I would do. Since there's this Godfather paradox that he's saying, Dave.
Right.
First off, I'd go back in time and beat the shit out of myself for losing all the toys.
Right.
Second, I would steal all my stuff when I was young and bring it back to the future so I can have it now. Because, like I said, I've said this before. I think that me now going back to my past is not going to really change. Like, me going back to the past is my present doing what it's supposed to do. So it's pretty much I'm still setting my future as of right now, going back in time, stealing my shit, coming back to the future, and I'm still going on from there. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything of alternate time or anything like that. I don't see like a Back to the Future kind of thing happening. An Endgame kind of thing maybe, where things are just set the way it is of right now. Now I did say that I think as myself as the person that's myself as being the person who's doing everything that's my future, and then whatever's in my past is just gonna follow along. But now that Doctor said about deja vu, I'm thinking, well, what if there is a future me now?
So,
You know?
yeah. I'm
So
glad
now
I've got
I'm
both of
like,
you
whoa,
on here. This is
Shit,
awesome.
shit. Am I the first John Joker, or am I not the first John Joker? Am I the second, third, fourth? What the hell am I now? All I
So
know is
now-
that if I go back in time, I'm gonna steal my shit when I was little and come back.
Okay, so with what John's saying, okay, this and me and Dochtav kind of talked about this morning. Okay, so say if I am from the future, okay, and I travel back to a younger me, and I give myself the winning lottery numbers, okay, that older me, is he already rich from me doing that, or is that older me not have any money until that new me started it over again? What would happen there? How would that work? What do you guys think? What's your intakes on it?
Okay, repeat that again.
Okay. So I'm an adult. Okay. Say I'm like 7. Well, I mean, of course I'm an adult. Say I'm like 70 years old. Okay. And I travel back in time, and I bring Rebels the winning lottery numbers at 43 years old right now. Okay. I give those to me. I play numbers. I win. So that 70-year-old Rebels that came to me, was he already rich because this was going to happen? Or did he live his life up to 70 without having that money, and it has restarted with me now? Or, I mean, how would that alter his future? Not my future. I mean, I know we're the same person. Not my future, but how would it alter that 70-year-old who traveled back in time? Would it be like Back to the Future where everything's different, just like that? Or what do you guys think? What do you think, John? You look like you're ready to say something. What do you think, bro?
Oh no, I was waiting on Doctav.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Doctor.
But, go ahead, Doctav.
And we already talked about this a little bit.
Yeah, I just wanted to share it with everybody else.
Okay, as it is that with time going the way that it does, if older you were to come back, say tomorrow, and bring you the winning lottery numbers tomorrow, he would have, at his point in time of being your age tomorrow, would have had an older version of himself come back and do the exact same thing. I think that there can be fluxes in time and shifts and things like that, but I still think it's all it all still exists, not necessarily in a destiny kind of way, because we do have our own choices to make. But if something like that were to happen, I believe that the same thing would have happened to him, and then eventually you, at the age of 70, will travel back in time and give it to 38-year-old Rebels just the same. I think it continues like that. And because if it's going to happen, well, that would be freaking awesome. And I think it would already. I want to say destiny, but also, that makes it seem like we don't have free will, but it is, like, in a sense, if we were to communicate. And I do think there are some things that can change. I have my thoughts on that too. But I think as far as what your question is, I think nothing would change for him. He is you, just later, and like 10 minutes from now, style later. You still doing the same thing. You still know what's going on.
So do you think he would be rich when he came to see me?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
What about you, John? What do you think about that?
Honestly, I think it's I kind of somewhat agree with Dochtav says, but it's kind of hard to say because I'm gonna give you the hot tub time machine theory kind of thing.
Go ahead, bro. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We need some Chernobyl right now.
Yeah, Chernobyl, right? I think that if the 70, like let's just say 70 or 80-year-old Rebels still listening to Thunderstruck,
Of course.
has the winning lottos, goes back and brings you the lotto tickets. I don't see really his future changing. Like I would see what he's trying to do, your future you, because he would like for you to be like he would like for himself to be richer younger, like at a younger time, like a little bit earlier. But I think that when he brings it back to you, your past is gonna be set to, like Dochtav says, fluctuate, and it's gonna be a different time for the past rebels. Because again, where I'm coming to with the whole hot tub time machine, there's an example where John Cusack meets that one girl in the past, and they eventually get married in the future when Lou changes everything for them. And when he goes into it, he didn't even know where the hell he lived. And then when he hugs her and he's looking at everything, he's looking at pictures, it's like, he goes, I did all that? So if your 70 you goes back in time to give the 40-year-old you the lotto tickets, is he going to remember anything that happens within those 30-year gap if he goes back to his same timeline and then he gives you the lotto tickets and you win, and or whatever, and or whatever it is, what happens within those 30 years of that gap? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think whoever the past, like this is the 30-year-old gap, the 70-year-old is back, or 70-year-old's back, the 30 you takes a different kind of timeline. But the 70-year-old you, I think, just stays the way he is, because how's he going to remember what happens within those 30 years? Like, what is he going to know that you spend money on? I mean, does he go back in time and let's just say you bought all the Hot Toy figures and he's going to have all the Hot Toy figures on his wall?
So what we're saying is, like, the younger me would better himself, but the 70-year-old me wouldn't? Is that what we're kind of saying? Like, 70-year-old would be the same, or?
Yeah, well, in a way, I mean, is he
now
gonna be the same, or is it really gonna change? Like he says, the time fluctuation is gonna change.
Now my question, if that's the case, why would the 70-year-old do it in the first place then? If because it didn't change anything for him,
he would want to get rich sooner. If you get what I mean.
Now I have one more. So let's say 70-year-old Rebels gives me winning lottery numbers, like old man Biff, and he leaves, okay? And I take that money and I buy extravagant things. I buy a Lamborghini. I wreck the Lamborghini and die at like 50. So now, did this ever happen? If the 70-year-old was supposed to bring me the lottery tickets, then that means if I died at like 50, then I never got the lottery tickets from the 70-year-old because he never existed.
That's kind of that loop thing I'm talking about.
That's what I'm. Yeah. I mean, this is just speculation, just thoughts. Like we're all just brainstorming, but stuff I've thought about.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no sure answer on any of this. So I mean,
right. This is just for fun. But
hey, Rebels, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's saying that Papa G's saying hello. Can you let them know that maybe that everybody that we say hello in return? Like we don't want. I think he's on live right now. That's why.
Yep. Yeah, if everybody would please go to Papa G and tell them that we all said hello as well. I apologize, I'm a little behind on the. What's that? Yeah, we're. Maybe we can time travel back and fix this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not watching much of the chat. I'm sorry. Okay, so Dave's mentioned said John Joker, that future fulfillment, you were the one who took your toys the entire time.
I wish I would have them right now.
Blue Harvest says me too, Blue. Punch me, not you. Yeah, because Blue said he would go back in time. Here we go. Blue Sasquatch said go back in time just to punch myself. Yeah, then Blue Harvest said me too.
Hey, Sleeping. How you doing?
Sleeping, what's up, brother? Meet Dochtav. Dave meet Sleeping.
Hola.
And Gary's Grill says Blue Eyes cashes the life insurance check and lives life of luxury. When I die, wrecking that Lamborghini. Okay, all right, that's cool.
Well, again, that's where I'm saying, like, I think your past sets a different time. I mean, I think there is more than just one. I don't think our timeline is set just in a straight line. I think we're branching out.
Okay.
Or multiverse of madness.
Yes.
There you go. I mean, I don't think there's just one me of me. I mean, there's got to be another asshole of me,
or I think what Dochtav was trying to say is he was trying to keep it low key.
Well, oh,
Yeah.
hey, wait.
That was a good one.
That's what she's.
Ah.
Oh,
Very good. Very good. Very good.
My
Hey,
first
Brandon.
one, my first one.
That was very good.
But that I was about that whole thing. Especially it's something I noticed today actually while I was working. I was thinking, and with the Loki series, it's all TVA, all time. But if you're
Right.
thinking, and there's just if anybody hasn't seen it, I don't
Hey,
want to give
fabulous.
spoilers, but
Spoilers.
spoilers. But there's only
Spoilers.
one timeline in there, and then it branches off, and that their job is to keep
Yeah.
it from branching. But
So that Lamborghini thing would be a branch.
yeah, that
Right?
if
Okay.
that's going
Okay.
to be the case, I would think.
I just wanted
And,
to put that on there.
See?
Something I,
Sorry.
oh,
Blue
sorry.
Sasquatch says Fez is
I
living
read
the
that.
luxury life that's John's twin Fez from 70s show. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead, Doc Dave. I'm sorry.
oh, no, that's good. That was good. But did you know with the fact that there's a Loki alligator and a Loki little boy and even a Loki girl, this is not just about time. This is already handling the multiverse. This is different universes, different versions. So it's like something that I wondered about. That is, time travel. It has a perspective point. I think, like what John Joker was saying with old you coming back and changing something and then continuing on his life instead of just erasing, who knows if he did or did not erase himself. If it's one timeline, then yeah, he would have erased himself, but then also kind of would have stopped himself from being able to do it. So it's this big, paradox. But if there are if it's branchable, then he would go back and very much like John Cusack in Hot Tub, not knowing what the hell's different, but it's all different, and he's like, oh look. So that would be I think it's all perspective too, like what the perspective is. Is it that like what type of time travel, what type of effect? I think that I'm gonna say a word and phrase, and it's gonna okay. Well, I think that some things have been changed in our time, but I also think that the original version of that leaves a little note in a lot of us, and Mandela effect. Why do so many of us remember things being just a hair bit different, just a little bit different here, a little bit different there, but they're not? And then no evidence of that ever seems to have existed, but we all, like so many of us know, like, wait a minute, that wasn't spelled that way, and I know it, and I've seen it 100 times growing up, but then there's no evidence. It's almost like as if somebody did change something in history, did do some time travel shenanigans, only the original version of it, the first time it happened, stuck with us.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's
pretty good.
the things I think about.
No, that was very good.
Very good, yeah. Doc Dave, I'm glad you got to come on here tonight,
I think I'm just gonna kick myself out.
No, you're good, John. Stay here.
Like, he's gonna, I don't know what to say to that. I just kick myself out.
Like I said, we talk a lot about this at work, and I was like, man, I've got to get him on here. And I figured that you would get a kick out of. I thought you'd get a kick out of him, John. So I was like,
yeah, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool.
Cool,
Cool.
cool.
Hey, Americas is here. Hey, Americas.
Is he? What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hello.
This is not the normal stream, man. We're talking about time travel today. But I will play you a little thunder just for the hell of it, Americans. There we go.
I did not want that to end.
I know. I would love to play the whole damn song, but YouTube throws a fit about it. It says I need a moment to digest what Dochtav just said. Gary Scrolls. I bang my head at least once a day. Okay.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Yeah, but
So, John, let me ask you a question.
sure.
Okay, so like, do you if you were like 70 years old, and if
Okay.
time travel was possible, would you come visit yourself at a younger age?
I just answered that. Hell yeah, just to steal my shit and go back.
I know we said that, but like, I mean, you would definitely do that. See, I would definitely do that as
Nah.
well. I would definitely do it.
Well, I'd go back in time to steal my shit. I never said I have to be there to steal my stuff.
You wouldn't want to visit yourself, talk to yourself?
Nah, not really.
Wow,
I'm happy where I'm at, but honestly, yeah, that's what she said too.
I was getting ready, but I don't want to interrupt you.
No, I just like I said, I think so. How do I explain this? In life, when people are angry with other people, it's not because they're angry with that other person. It's mostly they're angry with themselves. So I wouldn't want to go back in time and see myself and be angry at myself for some of the stupid things I've done. I'd just rather just move along and watch little old me walk out of my house, me commit a robbery in my own house and steal my shit and leave, you know?
Hey, there I go with my shit. What about you, Dochtav?
What's that?
What about you, Dochtav?
If I go back to my stuff, I've thought about it. I wouldn't change anything up to this point, but I thought kind of the same way you have. Like, man, I'm all the time, like, anytime I'm driving around, I see an abandoned factory, I think, is that where I hid my time machine? Is today the day I find it? I don't know. I think about that. I'm like, I know I've hidden it for myself somewhere because I don't know how the interaction would go. I don't know if it'd be like some Doc Brown, uncertain if my head would explode at that point, you know, and I don't want to find that out. And but hiding my own time machine or writing myself a note or a symbol on a wall that only I would recognize and be like, oh wait, there it is, and I go get it. I think about that all the time. And in fact, I mean, this is going to sound really silly, but and this is something I haven't told you. I actually attempted a form of time travel once. I know it sounds ludicrous. It sounds crazy.
That's intriguing. Come on, I want to hear this.
Johnson, let's hear it. Let's hear this.
Let's hear this.
Okay. So I talked to I had this idea, right? I had this. I don't know. It just hit me upside the head, and I just have these thoughts, and they're just the entire thought, like 8 hours worth of chit chat, just all at once. And well, I thought of how people do past life regression. And I got a hold of a hypnotherapist up in Lima, Ohio, actually. And I said, I got a hold of him and I said, is that something you deal with? And he said, yeah. And I said, can you go the other way? And
That's
he was like,
damn it.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I had to say that.
That's what you said, you forgot. Anyway, but I asked him, I said, can you go the other way? And he says, that's crazy. I have no idea. And he's like, and he paused. And I just told him flat out. I said, dude, I'm trying to catch lottery numbers. I was for real. And I went all the way up to Lima. And I was going to bring this up. I haven't talked to you about this yet, but I did. He said he needed to get a hold of his colleagues. And then he calls me back like 3 days later. I didn't even expect to call back. And he's like, you want to do this? Let's do this. And I went there and I got sort of hypnotized. It kind of didn't work. Not really. And, but I tried and I started, because I knew where I was going to be that day the lottery numbers were going. And I knew, like, I had everything planned out. So it was going to be real easy for me to see whatever it was I was going to have to see underneath hypnosis. Instead of going past life, go future by just a few days. And, kind of really couldn't see anything. And it's weird how it did end up turning out. Kind of couldn't see anything, and I knew where I was. I saw where I was, and I ended up being where I was, which was Frickers, and waiting for the numbers to show up on the screen. And they never did, and I could never see the numbers when I was really there. I did catch a number right, one of them, and when I did catch some numbers, but I didn't feel confident about it by the time I left the hypnotherapist's office, and but I did catch the one number correctly, and when I got to Frickers that following Saturday, waiting on Powerball to roll, they weren't on the screen. They couldn't find them in time for them to show. So technically, I don't know if I did see the future or not. I don't know because I couldn't really see them.
Right.
And it was something. So I tried.
Dave, I sent it to your Instagram, bro. Dave's mentioned. I'm sorry. Let me just catch up with the chat real quick. That's pretty wild, Dochtav. That is pretty wild, bro.
Go back.
Where at?
What did Blue say? Blue Harvest. No, Blue Harvest.
Wrong one.
That's what she said. I had to say it. I had to say it. Sorry.
Okay, let me look at the rest of the chat here real quick. Oh, Action Figures and Counters. What's up, Airmax? How are you, sir?
Hey, I saw that guy.
Hello, I'm following you from Saudi Arabia. You're funny. Thank you for this broadcast. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. Just catch up with the rest of this chat real quick.
That is really.
I think it's, yeah.
You make me want to do something like that, Doctor.
Well,
if I do that and I win some lotto numbers and I win the millions, I'm gonna count you in as one of my friends. I'm gonna give you some of that money for giving me that idea.
I have something crazy I would like to do, and I've talked to Dochtav about it, and I've talked to you, John, about it. And first off, let me say that one of the reasons why I have created a YouTube channel is because I want, when I pass away, when I'm gone, I want my daughter, I want my son, I want my grandchildren to look back on YouTube. I'm sure they'll find, even if YouTube is not around, I'm sure there'll be a way to find the videos of a lot of my toy hunts, a lot of talks and stuff that I've had. So it's one of the things I am trying to accomplish with YouTube is trying to log as much things as I can, for my adult children after I passed away to see me talk about certain things. Okay. Which a lot of others are probably doing the same thing. But I also want to look back on myself when I'm older, at myself when I was younger, talking about things like I'm talking about right now with my friends. Being that's the case, I would like to make a challenge to 70-year-old Rebels, 70-year-old Ed, to meet me Friday at my local Walmart. I have 2 Walmarts, and you know which one it is. And I would like for you to meet me at 7:30 a.m. I know that it's probably not going to happen, but if there's any way it could happen, Ed, Rebels, meet me Friday morning, 7:30 at Walmart. If you're not alive at 70 years old, I'm talking almost 30 years from now, Haley, my daughter, Hayden, my son, or Blue Eyes, Amber, one of you guys, meet me there. I will not freak out. I will be ready. Even if you don't want to talk to me, let me just glance and see if this is going to be true or not. And then I can tell everybody if time travel is real. I know it sounds bizarre. I know it sounds crazy, but I think if it was at all possible, I would do it at a 70-year-old adult or find a way to send someone to communicate with me. It's a crazy challenge. And what I think I will do, as long as my phone works well with the Wi-Fi at Walmart, I will go live Friday morning at 7:30, and I will walk into the toy aisle that I'm hoping that I or someone else will be, and this will be on video. If it doesn't exist, if it doesn't happen, then I'm just a crazy dude, but I'm going to try it. What do you guys think?
Cool. You did it. Now let's see if it works.
I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but it would be totally awesome. I walked up on somebody that looked like me just for a second, and I have it on video.
That'd be cool.
There's hope to try. There's hope to try.
Or an older Haley or older Hayden.
Or Hayden or Amber, Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Because who knows if I'm going to live to be that old or not. But if I do, I will definitely remember this moment. With that being said, let me add on my next guest.
Hey, look what Blue Sasquatch is.
Where's he at first? Which one?
At the second bottom one.
Behind. Very bottom?
The G-Force will be...
That is horrible.
Freaking Blue, man.
That is horrible.
I'm sorry, G-Force. That's not cool, but oh well. I'll probably be holding a walker too, Blue. Shoot.
Well, let me introduce my next guest. Dave's Connection. What's up, bro?
Hey, wait.
You guys got me chomping at the bit here because Rebels.
I was watching you. Hey, brother, I was watching you backstage.
Time travel is my jam.
I was watching you backstage, and you were literally, hey, guys, he was literally going, like, come on, like
I'm
a
having
boxer.
deja
Like a
vu.
boxer
I'm
getting
having
ready to
deja
fight.
vu.
Me too.
I'm having deja vu. Are you the one that won on Friday at that
Yeah.
Joker's? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
What did you
I had
say,
to get
John?
levels for that. Huh?
The
John,
guy
I didn't
broke
hear it.
me.
What did you say?
I don't know. I'm becoming deaf.
I still missed it, John. I'm sorry.
Huh?
But no, what was killing me was Rebels asking the question: if you could go back in time and change something. Now, the thing is, yeah, you can go back and change something, but that's going to be a completely different chain of events. Not that you wouldn't remember or want to go back. I used to do a lot of writing when I was younger. I actually wrote a story once about I had a real regret that I had from my past, from my youth, that I wanted to kind of set right. Well, in the story I wrote, I get this opportunity to go back. But when I come back to my present is complete crap. Everything is the worst case scenario, the worst nightmare imaginable. So then I had to find a way back so I could stop my younger self from making that change. So you might have the best intentions ever, but by going back and making whatever change, even if you think it's something small, you can create a whole chain of events that could just rip it all apart. So I mean, sometimes going back, it's like a little pebble creates a big ripple in a pond. It could change everything completely. So I mean, you could go back and say, oh, I want to, I never got to tell this person something. Maybe you tell that person something, and then it creates a different timeline. You're not doing the things that you were going to do, and that creates a whole chain of events that can just completely change your life. But my whole view on time is this: I believe that, like what Dochtav was saying, there's certain things that are maybe they're set in stone. Some things can be set in stone. Other moments in time are fluid. There are certain times when it's so small an event, you can change it. You can alter it. But there's sometimes big events that you just can't change. It's like someone, if they go back and say, oh, I want to take out Hitler, who's to say there's not going to be someone worse than Hitler coming up?
Or someone that may want to avenge Hitler.
Yeah.
It'd be worse.
Well,
yeah, I get it.
But like what he was saying about, like, really time travel is almost like the multiverse. They pretty much are almost identically the same. You take a rope, okay? You got a big strand. You got a big rope. Every time you make a change, every time you make a choice, that's another strand that's unraveling off of that, and that's a whole separate timeline onto itself. That's a multiverse. There's a show back in the 90s called Sliders.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys ever saw it. Same Earth, different dimension. Maybe there was a world where red means go and green means stop. Maybe there was a world where, Russia won the Cold War. Every different change is a separate world. One of those episodes, they went to an Earth where instead of it being the 90s, it was actually the 80s because the Earth's rotation was slower. So time was actually a good decade behind. So yeah, the dimensional travel, if that was possible, you could kind of go to a world maybe where time is ahead 120 years. Who knows? But yeah, when it comes to time travel, I mean, like what John Joker said. John had the best analogy. He lost all these toys as a kid. If he went back and he was the one who stole them, that's the end game timeline. He kind of put things back to where they should. No one else got them. He had them later on. So I mean, if you can do something where you don't run into your other self, you're not contaminating the timeline. If you can do that and you're not interacting or altering anyone else's timelines,
should put it in the chat.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Now let me ask. Okay, so let me ask you this, Dave.
Yeah,
I understand that about running into your other self. Okay.
Yeah.
And like I remember, like on Back to the Future, for instance, where Marty's girlfriend runs into herself, and she's like,
She
"I'm
changed.
young, I'm old," and they pass out. Remember, it's
Yeah.
like Back to the Future 2, I believe. Okay, now that was an unexpected thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I have thought that I may actually see myself this Friday at the Walmart that I was talking about, and I prepared myself for that, would that work if I ran into myself?
It depends on what is said between your present and your future self.
I mean, we don't have to say anything. Like, if I look at him
Because
and
again,
I see his arms, he's got the same tattoos as I do, and I know it's me, a head nod would be enough for me. I just want to see if it's possible.
Back to the Future 2 again. Marty sees his other self on stage.
Right.
He's
Right.
mentally prepared for it. He doesn't interact with him, though. Doc handing his other self the right wrench.
Yes.
Okay? So those are instances when, and that's one of the weird ones, that he actually physically hands himself a wrench.
Right.
Because some time travel movies and shows have actually said two of the same matter cannot occupy the same space. If they do, that.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, that's those incidences that we're talking about was the older version seeing a younger version, correct? Like, I mean, not by much. Like with Marty playing the guitar, and the other Marty sees
Also,
him, not by
Marty
much,
prefers
but
time travel. So I mean, if you're mentally aware,
right.
of what's going on, I think if you're mentally prepared for it, then yeah, you can do that without causing any kind of repercussions. Jennifer, for one, didn't know really where the hell she was.
Yeah, so this was all a shocker to her.
She was like, "What do you mean we're in the future?" And all that shock, and then Doc uses sleep inducer to knock her out.
Yeah.
So she wasn't fully prepared. Marty, he's already been a seasoned time traveler by that point in time.
Right.
So
Now, what I'm saying is the younger me. So I'm turning the table. The younger me, which is me, is challenging the older me to come see me, and I'm prepared for it. So I'm actually turning tables. Instead of an older version of Marty looking up at the younger version, that traveled to the under the sea dance, or the older Doc handing the younger Doc the wrench, for the clock tower.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this younger me challenging the older me to come see.
You're mentally prepared because you're actually daring your older self to come visit you, for one.
Right.
And secondly, your older self will have years and years to prepare himself mentally for seeing his younger self.
Right, so we're good.
Yeah.
No, but then again, Dave, it's what you just said though, the changing the whole thing. What you guys are talking about now is kind of like a Star Trek Into Darkness kind of thing. Where remember Spock talked to the younger Spock, but he was talking to them about the whole con thing, and he told them, "Well, I can't say much," and in a way, he still didn't say much. So isn't that kind of almost the same thing going on? Like, they can't say much to each other.
Spock broke his own rules by saying, with that being said, Khan Noonien Singh is the worst threat that the Starship Enterprise ever faced. So he still told, even though he said, "I warned you about asking me about about your future," but with that being said, I'm still going to tell you how dangerous this guy was.
But he never told him how. That's the issue. I think he didn't tell him the whole.
He didn't give him specifics because,
right?
Well, Spock already knew that this was a completely different timeline already because of him and everything else that's been set off by that Romulan crew in the first,
Gary.
First timeline. So
see you, Gary.
But yeah, I mean, it also depends on, as long as your older self, Rebels, what he actually imparts on you. If he just says, just gives you generalized information like Spock did, timeline is
we're golden. Yeah. Now let me switch gears for just a minute. Let me ask one more thing. When we were talking about the money situation and the Lamborghini situation, that whole story that we talked about before, I want to rewind to that for just a minute. Now, we were talking about people traveling to space that are not astronauts, that have a lot of money. I mean, like, theoretically, if you and me were rich, Dave, we could go to space for 30 seconds and check it out, right? As of right now in 2021. But we're not financially stable to doing that.
Who would want us to come back, though? We didn't want those billionaires to come back to Earth, did we?
Okay. Okay, but we're not financially able to do that at this time. Okay?
Correct. True.
Now, so if time travel exists 30 years from now, I'm pretty sure the average Joe can't hop into his DeLorean and travel through time. I'm sure that it's going to be somebody that has a lot of money or something like that to that effect, right?
Yeah.
Now, my question is, what if 70-year-old Rebels meets me at Walmart, okay, doesn't say anything, but gives me the winning Powerball numbers? I play those Powerball numbers, and that's how he afforded to come and see me.
Well,
What do you guys think of that?
there's a little bit of a flip of a coin on that one, at least in my thought, because we can play this with a couple different rules.
Okay.
One, we can do the whole Back to the Future 2 again, because there's a deleted scene where a future Biff, when he returns back to 2015, he fades away because he's now replaced by a different Biff who got rich at a young age and didn't need to steal an almanac off Doc and Marty.
Wow.
But that creates now you have two separate timelines. You have the alternate future where Biff is rich and ruling the world, and then you have the other timeline, which is the one that they traveled to 2015 on. So you have multiple timelines right there. So once they burn the almanac in 1955, the first timeline is then restored. So there's that. But also, it's also kind of a grandfather paradox. There's a bit of gray area here because if he still has to leave some kind of instruction, verbal instruction to you that, oh, here are the lottery numbers, but you still must keep these numbers written down, and you must still come back to the past to give them to your younger self, thereby ensuring that loop. Otherwise, you get rich.
Yeah, you done forgot the numbers, and then you're right.
Yeah, so I mean that kind of contradicts Back to the Future 2, but at least that way that keeps that loop coming forward. Because if you don't go back in time, then you don't get those numbers, and that's grandfather paradox, and nothing really happens. At least that's how I view it.
You've got a point, Dave. You've got a point. You have got a point.
So here's my thing, Rebels.
Yes.
Let's say you're older, like you're talking about. The older you comes back in time because he won the lotto tickets to go back in time to give you the lotto tickets.
Right.
Now you're rich, okay? Are you gonna do what older you did and you go back in time?
I would have to.
Are you sure? It doesn't mean you have to, because remember, the future you is 70 years old. Does that mean you're gonna wait till you're 70-year-old to go back in time to give to you again?
Well, that's what I was trying to say about the whole Lamborghini thing. Remember, if I was rich and I bought a Lamborghini and I wrecked it and died at 50 years old, there's no way I could have brought the tickets or the winning numbers to me at that age. Remember?
Well, yeah. But again, I mean, I don't. I guess we're all in a different way of thinking about what can be what with the future. I mean, if we go back in time, will it actually do like what Dave said? If would our cells disappear because we're someone different, or is it just a different time, loop? I mean, like a different branch, because we do not know. But then again, I don't know if we'll ever know. I mean, time does has its downfalls. I mean, I know Dave was here earlier, and I know we've talked about it before, and I don't remember whose it was, but you were the one that was. Oh yeah, we were talking about it because of the Loki thing, Dave. That you saw. You said about the U.S. The one that traveled in space, and all the sailors were stuck to the ship. So
yeah,
maybe it's gonna be a long while till we get to time travel, because we need to first see how we're gonna go through time. I mean, you never know. I mean, it might. What if it's a Terminator thing? I mean, we don't know. It may be painful to us. I mean, I don't know. I just
it could be. I mean, it depends on your perception as well. I mean, there were theories that if you travel faster than the speed of light, you're aging slower than anyone else on Earth is. That's a form of a one-way time travel if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Or people who freeze themselves cryogenically. They wake up 30, 40 years.
Right.
They're still
Yeah.
the same age, but now all this
They may
time has
have-
passed.
Right.
That's kind of a one-way thing. But it all depends on when they figure out how to actually achieve it. Is it going to be, for all we know, it could be just like Back to the Future, or it could be something really crazy and convoluted. I don't know if any of you guys ever saw a show called Quantum Leap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Who hasn't seen Quantum?
Quantum Leap, where the accelerator travels so fast that you can speed up along your, because the theory was that your life is a string, beginning of birth and its death. Now, if you could go so fast that you find yourself back at the beginning, it's a loop now. Now, what if you could ball it up so each day of your life will touch each other out of sequence? You can quantum leap within your own lifetime. That being that, if you could travel so fast, could you travel so fast that you suddenly are now in the past? I mean, it all depends what shape or form time travel will be. Is it going to be a slingshot around the sun like in Star Trek? Is it going to be, who knows, a phone booth in Bill and Ted? We don't know.
Yeah.
But that would be more, Bill and Ted was kind of a wormhole thing.
Blue read my mind. I was gonna ask you now on this.
Yeah, I was reading it. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you this. You're talking about going back in time, and I would like to hear from each and every one of y'all. If you're 70, you were able to travel to time, or let's not say 70. Let's say 60. Let's say in 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Instead of deciding, I would like to go to the past and do something different, would you actually want to go see the future to see not just yourself, but how the world is?
Oh, well,
You're thinking about going
I'll say that
past.
first.
Now we're going to future. Go ahead, Doctor.
I've thought about that. I think about that all the time. That'd be too cool, and because again, not to sound greedy, I just know how the world works, and if I went to the future, I'd definitely biff that. I would grab that almanac. I would come back, but I would want to check things out. I would want to see if there's anything, and I mean, I guess also there goes with perspective. If I am not to say past, present, or future self, because that can be really confusing depending on where you're coming from. But if I'm 2021 me, and I saw like another horrific thing, that I could possibly prevent by coming back to my time, I might want to do that. I think if I went to the future, I would totally want to see, just catch up on things. I mean, could save a whole bunch of lives, could, and the future would be different. That way, I think it would definitely change. And I'm not necessarily for changing the future or time in general. I'm not really for that. But I think I would definitely check it out for sure. And if there's something that's just too big not to try to prevent, then I would change that. But yeah, I would check it out. Rebels?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would check that out, check out the future or not, man. I guess I would think of the future a little different, because one of the first things I'd want to do is find out about my loved ones if they've reached certain ages or not, and I don't know if I'd want that on my shoulders later on, because I don't know what bad things may happen. I mean, the world is a rough place. I don't know.
Dave?
See, that's a tough one, because I mean, on the bright side, going to the future, I mean, you offer me a chance, do I want to go to the future and check it out? Yes, I'd have to say yes.
Right.
But I mean, to the bright side, I could go to the future. Maybe they have a cure for asthma. Maybe they can fix my eyes. There's obviously going to be quantum leaps in medicine and technology. The tech guy in me would love to check it out. But also, another part of me has always wanted to go to the past. I'm not talking the past in my time, but maybe the Old West, or maybe colonial times, or even the Renaissance. To see the golden age of art and technology and creation way back when. I mean, a part of me would love to see that, but also me being the nerd that I am, I
See,
know
Richard
what
Bird.
I know what I can say and what I can do without polluting the timeline. But it would be kind of cool to see the past. But I mean, the future, yeah, I would have to check it out. Would we get real hoverboards? Come on.
Almost there, buddy, almost there. Okay, so now
All
that
of
you
our
mentioned
that's
that, okay, now that you mentioned about, well, Rebels is more like, I think I'm in your direction that I wouldn't want to go. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to see anything that's scary, especially where the
Yeah.
world's going.
Oh yeah. Oh
Now,
yeah.
now, like how Dave, because you're a little bit more, seem more interested in this. Not that Dochtav and Rebels is not,
No.
but you have more of an idea of what's going on with it. Seems like you're probably from the future. Who knows? But what Dochtav said, he liked to go to the future,
Yeah.
learn some things, go back in time, like to his present now, like where we're at now. Do you think that would have a ripple effect, just like how we would go back in time and mess up our?
Well, as far as the ripple, it depends on like okay, he gets the almanac, he gets future knowledge. Now here's the flip side of that. Who's to say that he didn't eventually discover that knowledge already?
Huh.
It's like saying, hey, in fact, another time travel movie, Star Trek 4, Voyage Home.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty and McCoy, they need this really thick plexiglass, but they need it at only an inch thick. They go to this one manufacturer and they give them a formula. And McCoy's like, isn't this gonna like change the future? He says, how do we know this guy didn't invent it? We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, it depends on what you use that knowledge for. If he just uses it to make his life and his family's life much more comfortable financially, that's not really corrupting the timeline. That's one of those small changes in time. Now, if he bankrolled it and decided to be the next president or make real world changes, that could be something a little bit different. That could be something that could alter the future. But if he's using it just to make his life and his family's life much more comfortable financially, where maybe they don't have to struggle for work, they can enjoy life. That could be something that is, it could be immutable. It doesn't really make a world affecting change. But for all we know, who knows? Maybe his family and him actually later on in life they rolled, somehow ran into money. Now it's just sooner. So without knowing what the future ramifications are of that timeline, who's to say whether it's good or bad?
Yeah.
It really depends on what you're using that knowledge for. If you're using it just to be comfortable, in Biff's case, he was a greedy little prick who decided to, not just use the money at the racetrack, but then roll it into a company and then make that company bigger and bigger and bigger, creating pollution and, legalize gambling and, pretty much run Hill Valley into the ground. That's a different situation. So, power is, great power comes great responsibility again. So there you go. So it depends on what you're going to do with it.
Aunt Marty's mom's big boobs.
Leave Malia Thompson alone, okay?
She said if you want them so bad, you can have them. To Biff, remember Biff paid for her boobs. Okay, I didn't know if everybody got that or not.
Here's a question. Here's a question I got for you guys. If you guys had the chance, and I guess you could do the same thing with cryogenic freezing if it really, really, really worked. But if you had the chance to potentially go into the future, but you were stuck, there's no coming back, there's no changing anything, but you're your age now, you're 2021 you, and you could jump, say, 50, 100 years, but that's it. Like maybe if time travel was a one-way window, what? There's personal reasons I can explain if you want to know. That I wonder what would you guys do?
I would do a yes and no. If I was by myself, and I didn't have my family, things happen tragically, and they told me you can go to the future and because I have nothing here, then I would go. But right now, I would say no. You're talking about like Demolition Man, right?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, kind of like that. I brought this up to Rebels at work. It has to do with Bermuda Triangle. He knows what I'm talking about.
Dude, I think you should tell everybody what your dream is. What you
Should
think,
I?
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
What's that?
Hold on. Think about the way you're going to word it. I'm going to throw Air Max on here real quick. So give me just a second.
Okay, cool.
Let me throw him on here real quick.
But like John was saying, I gotta agree with John. What? Huh?
Hold on a second.
Turn it up. Turn it up. I can't turn it up. Up.
John, can you understand me?
Hell no.
Hold on, guys. Here we go. I got him. Yeah, there he is. All right, let's go. Sorry.
There you go.
No rules. I'm sorry.
Cool. All right.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, Air Max?
I was saying I gotta agree
Hey,
with
Max.
John on that.
I don't want to cut into your Bermuda Triangle stuff, but I have a weird question for you with this topic. Everybody's saying that you know
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
you want to see your older self come back and see yourself, right? But like if you travel to the future, actually, how would you feel about that? Like each one of you, like, you think you'll be able to accept what the future holds for you? You know, like let's say I go 40 years from now, 30 years from now. Who knows if you'll be alive? Who knows what position you'll be in?
That's actually what I said. Yeah. That's actually what I said. I don't think I would do it because I would be afraid of seeing people that I care for that I've lost. You know what I mean? Even though.
Yeah, like, not only like you lost, just as a whole, like, everybody has ideas and images of who you're going to be in the future. What if you're not that person? How would you go back? How would you come back and be like, oh man, in the future I'm going to be, who knows, homeless? Who knows, I might have money, but I'm going to be like this greedy person, So how would you feel about that? How would you, cope with the whole idea basically?
Is this like there's no answer to this, Air Max? Like I had to go, like if I had to go to the future, because honestly I wouldn't want to go to the future.
If like that's what, like they may.
Yeah, my choice would be I would go.
But I wouldn't want to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't go either. That was my choice too.
I don't want to.
How about you?
I mean,
would you want to go?
Well, I was going to say
what?
That's why I'm laughing. I'm sorry. That Blue Sasquatch's message.
I can see in my future. Nice.
That's why I was
Blue,
laughing.
man.
I'm sorry.
Blue, we're just average Joes, man. That's what it is.
Hey, Rolando.
So would you want to go to the future?
I don't think I would. I really don't.
I don't know, man.
I mean, if I went to the future, I wouldn't want to know anything about my future personally, my future or my family's future, because that's gonna, like you said, that's gonna alter everything. If once you go back, that's gonna change everything.
Because of your knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, one of my favorite movies, Back to the Future. Doc always says, you don't want to know too much about your own future.
That makes sense.
So you would still want to go back in time?
Yes.
I mean, Back to the Future. See, because that's my thing. I don't even, like you said, I don't want to know my time or what's going on with me. Yeah. But what's to say you go in 100 years, or not even 100 years, let's just say in 30 years, and the place that you live is like, God forbid, blown up. Let's say America's the crap. You're already knowing that something happened to you and your family. Would you want that? That's if.
Well, because when you came back home, you would live in fear the whole time, thinking about what's going to happen in the future to your family. I wouldn't want to do it.
There's,
I wouldn't want to do it.
there's a line from another movie I love called The Time Machine. There's a recent Time Machine movie that came out in like early 2000s, and the protagonist, by the end, he's told by one of the villains, one of the bad guys, you're one of those people who's haunted by those two words, what if? So, me, the tech person, and I mean, as a kid, I wanted to be a scientist. I was that kid that took apart his Walkman to try and fix it. I was always trying to learn things as a kid. So there's that chance that, like, okay, if I do go, who's to say I come back? But that person, that scientist in me, that curiosity would get me, and I'd have to go, no matter what. The two great words, what if? What if things are terrible? It could be like, hey, for all we know, it could be like Demolition Man. It could be like Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome, or it could be like Idiocracy, if you guys ever saw that movie.
I think Idiocracy is already happening. I'm sorry to say.
No, but
Electrolyte is what lamps need.
We're not asking about what if. Let's say already it's proven that people are going to the future and they're coming back. We're not asking about could you go and will you be able to come back. It's basically would you want to see yourself in the future.
Right. What are you bringing back with in your head? What are you bringing?
But he just said right now that it's not that you can't come back. That's what he was just saying right now.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, if I knew I could come back, if I knew it was a round trip, I don't think I'd want to know what happens to me, because by me finding out even a little bit, that's already going to change my decisions.
Right.
That's already going to change my decisions. I mean, again, I hate to quote it again, Back to the Future 3. Doc lets it slip that Marty's in a car accident in the future.
Yeah, messes up the same.
And Marty's whole thing about, being called a chick, and Doc tells him, that's why you get in that car accident in the future. And then when Marty's back in 1985, he decides not to play chicken, but to go in reverse. And that's what prevents him from getting into that car accident. Even a little bit of information, even though he's not giving specifics as to when it happens, that little bit it basically plants a seed in you. Even the smallest breadcrumbs can alter your decisions in the future.
Well, you didn't even have to go to Back to the Future 3. You could have just gone with Back to the Future 1, where the paper, Doc ripped it, but decided to tape it back, and so you're right, yeah.
Isn't that movie where they plant the ideas, Shutter Island, I think it's called?
Shutter Island, yeah.
I believe in that, strongly believe in that.
But
I mean, again, like I say, I was gonna say again. Yeah, that was DiCaprio.
Okay, that wasn't time travel, was that?
No, that wasn't time travel. They just go into the people's mind, into dreams, and they play with their dreams. Because I actually have a friend that knows how to. He doesn't manipulate other people's dreams, but he knows how to manipulate his own dreams. Because he knows the barrier between, because once you're in deep sleep and you're dreaming, you think it's real life, and you're like, damn, dude, like I've been in so many car accidents that you have no idea, like in my dreams, of course. And I'm like, damn, dude, I'm in my car again, whatever. But he actually knows the difference between him being in a dream and being in real life, where he flies in his dreams, and he used to fly to school in his dreams, and he'll fly up to his top of his building and all this superhero stuff in his dreams, and he'll tell us the story, dude, I was flying throughout Queens, and go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say there's always been theories that, one, in your dreams, people have talked about astral projection. People have talked about even time travel being possible. That maybe when you're dreaming about another time, maybe that's not necessarily you, but a past life. There's a lot of theories about that. Like Dochtav was talking about was it a memory regression or past life regression or something? I think you were talking about before.
Yeah.
No, yeah. They say that with there's even I'm trying to think. The movie was called Somewhere in Time, starring Christopher Reeve, where he would go sleep, and it was like a kind of a meditative kind of sleep, and he found himself in the distant past. So I mean, there's theories about that. I mean, that was a movie like from the early '80s, I think it was, which a lot of people believe that either with certain or I'm trying to think, not necessarily therapies, but like meditation, that you can project yourself, or even genetic memory, pulling memories from your distant past. So there's a lot of different theories out there. So like you're saying, like the person is feeling like they can fly or do certain things. Maybe that's they're remembering themselves as a bird, or maybe they were a pilot in a past life, but their mind is trying to
I've done that.
translate that as best as they can.
I've done
No.
that for sure. It's what Airmax's buddy is doing is something for sure. It's called lucid dreaming, where you're dreaming and you're in an entire another dream world, and all the reality or all the detail of reality, but you're cognizant and aware that your body is over there sleeping and you're in a whole nother world. I've done that, and I even kind of sort of developed a way to practice that to where it like gets real easy. It's really neat, and I could tell people if they wanted, but that's a whole other subject.
He talks about
Oh,
it so
so
much.
the
Well,
thing
when
I
we
come
were
up with
kids, he used to
so
talk about it.
easy.
Blue was
Oh yeah,
asking.
yeah. It's difficult. Everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. It's just you just got to you just got to differentiate while you're unconscious, and once you do differentiate it, the very first time I ever did it, I got so excited that my actual heart started beating so hard that I woke myself up, and I was like, damn it, no, go back to sleep. And and because I knew I was asleep. And it's really neat. Everybody can do that. That's lucid dreaming, and that's
I
a
mean,
whole nother thing. And but speaking
I've
about past
done
lives and
it.
stuff, I've heard.
I've done it, but not like I don't have that control like maybe you do or my friend has. But I've done it like where it's like so real, so vivid that let's say I get into a fight and then I get a car accident and then like my house is burning down and I'm like, damn, my life is going to hell. And then the way I snap out of it, and maybe you should know, it's like it's a fall. You fall down, just like the movie, how they were talking about it. You fall down, and dude, I'm in my bed sleeping, and it's like I'm falling somewhere. And when I wake up, like you know how
Jump,
you
yeah.
react when you're falling. You get that little jump. So I'm in my bed like this, sleeping comfortably, and my wife will tell me what happened, and I'm like, I had a little jump of like me falling, and that's how I'll snap out of it.
Wow.
Let me ask you
Right?
something
It's
on that,
fun.
guys.
Wow.
Now that you guys mentioned about like that, I know you guys heard this many times, but if you were to see yourself die in your dream, do you think you'll never wake up from that? Do you think you honestly die?
Well,
Like, let's say how
I
you were
mean,
saying, Air Max, that you saw yourself falling. Like, you let's say you were in the Empire State Building in your dream, and you saw yourself like slip and fall, and you actually die in your dream because you hit
I don't
pavement and
think
all
you.
that.
I don't think from that you wake up because I've like the worst that's happened to me has been that I fell down the stairs, or I got in a real bad car wreck, or I get the repetitive. I get like parking lots and I can't find my car, and it becomes like sort of like I'm desperate to see where
oh,
my car is, and I keep walking and walking, and then the more you walk to looking for your car in this parking lot, it happened when I bought a brand new car, so that could be the reason. But the more you walk in this parking lot, the more the parking lot starts to change. So now you're looking at a parking lot like any parking lot would be, and now you're in a neighborhood. So now there's no way you're gonna find your car. So now you start to get anxious and anxious, and then different events happen that during that moment, like the first 5 minutes after you wake up, you remember them vividly. But after that,
Hmm.
you like if like an hour passes, you'll forget completely what happened. But during those
Yeah,
first 5 minutes or 2 minutes that you wake up, it's like you're like right there. Like when you wake up, you're like, dude, where's my car? But you're at home, you're
gotcha,
sleeping in your bed. So
gotcha.
that's how it works. But I think if you die
Wow.
in your sleep, it's you punch your card out. That's it. Goodbye.
Yeah. Okay.
Were
Wow.
you talking Joe, were you talking like see yourself third person or see yourself first person? Like,
Oh,
watch
I
the
see
impact of
myself
the ground
first
come
person.
here.
It's first person, I guess I would say. I
Okay.
mean, a lot of I think the theory to me on that I'm not saying this is true. The reason I think you can't see yourself dream, and if you were to see yourself like in first person die, it's because I think your body gets like a cardiac attack. You know, because you know how when you wake up, when you're falling, you wake up, you're like, oh shoot, your heart's kind of like
Right.
pumping a little bit. I think that if you see yourself as first person or maybe even third person, I don't know, and you die in your dream, I think your body reacts to it and you end up dying of a heart attack or some kind of thing because we get scared when we have a
Because
night, you know.
your heart's pumping, your blood
Mhm.
pressure, and just the visual imagery, just kind of everything just.
Because as it is, falling asleep when you're laying down, not even falling asleep, even when you're laying down, your blood pressure is low. So who's to say when you're seeing yourself like your pressure rises and everything? But guys, I gotta take off for a bit. I gotta do some errands. I didn't know we were gonna stay this long, but it was great. So Rebels, if you're still on, I'll try to get back. I'm just gonna run some errands real quick.
Well, I was hoping
Aramax?
that you could hear what Dochtav was going to say about the squirrel outfit
the Bermuda
flying
Triangle.
thing he was talking about, Bermuda Triangle.
I'd love to,
You
but I
have a
gotta go do
second?
this real quick. No,
Okay.
I gotta go real quick. That's already.
All right.
I didn't know we
You're
were gonna
good,
take
bro.
this long,
I'm
but
sorry, I ruined
You're
it
good.
for you guys.
no, you're good. You're good.
You're good,
I'll
Aramax.
either go back in time. I'll go back. I'll go back in time. I'll go back
Yeah.
on the replay, or we can chat again this all together because this was very interesting. So,
But
Rebels,
I'm
I'll
telling
see you
you,
soon.
before you
See you.
go,
Aramax,
that whole drop, it's scary, bro. Like when you're in that sleep, and Doc Cave must know about it, dude. When you're falling, you feel like you're falling from the Empire State Building.
I've had it
Like
before.
right before you wake up. Oh, you had it, so you know the feeling, bro. You're like, this
That's
is
why
like,
I don't like heights,
it
bro.
snaps out of. Yeah, it just.
I
I'm
hate
not
heights.
good at heights either.
Look, let me tell
But
you
what
one
I
thing.
wanna
I
do-
don't swim. I don't swim, and I don't fly. Why? Because if God wanted me to do flying, He would have made me a bird. If God wanted me to swim, He would have made me a damn fish. That's why He made me human, to stay on ground. That's it. But I gotta go, guys. Let me go get that done.
Bye, John.
Doc
Take care.
It was nice to
Take
meet
care,
you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, y'all take care.
Later.
Later.
Take
See you
care.
later.
So do you want me to go ahead with that?
Yeah,
You said
go
you're
for it,
gonna
Dante.
Go back and,
Yeah, we'll just listen to it later.
so this is a thought which now I'm thinking maybe I won't do, but maybe I will find somebody who doesn't have anything because I have kids and everything that I don't want to lose. But the reason, did you catch that, Air Max, when I was asking if you could go into the future like 50 to 100 years, but you had to stay, like the whole thought behind it. And anyway, I'm not sure if you caught that or not, but
I might have been
Um,
hearing you guys, but I wouldn't want to do it.
right, and everybody's pretty much seems to be on the same page because I have an idea. Something that I thought of. I'd heard many stories about time fluctuations in the Bermuda Triangle, and sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter. Like there was a couple, two couples, a guy and a girl, and they were traveling from one point off coast to Florida, and they had gone out, had a bunch of fun, and the girls decided to take this boat back, and they were taking a long way around. And the two guys, they had a speedboat, and they said, "Nuts to it! We're going straight through the triangle." And the girls got where they were supposed to go, and 5 hours later, the guys show up 5 hours later than what they were supposed to, and they are just sunburnt and dehydrated, and to them, it was 5 days of solid exposure. However, it was the same day, but they got checked out by medical. They went to the hospital immediately when they pulled in, and they had every sign of being out on the sea for 5 days with nothing. And they didn't think it was going to be a big deal, but they ended up, and they said it was 5 days they were out there, and obviously their wives or girlfriends or whatever, and everybody was like, "No, dude, it's the same day. We saw you like 5 hours ago." And anyway, I also heard about so that's one time flippity deal, and I heard of another one where this pilot was coming through the triangle and kind of going in the same direction, and he talks about going through a vortex, and he had gone He had gone the same route several times, no big deal. You know, he knew everything. He knew how much fuel he was going to have. He knew how long it was going to take. And he saw this cloud swirling vortex, kind of like what's behind Rebels right there. And your swirling vortex, yeah, it's very similar to what the guy described, but of clouds. And he wasn't the only passenger on this plane. And but he arrived, like, he went through this this vortex and then came out, and then bam, there's the coast. And he's like, wait, no, that's still like an hour away. That's not even. I would be lower on fuel. I would have spent more time in the air, but it literally like a jump forward. And at least in space, maybe not in time, but at least in space. And so he wasn't near, like, it was weird. It was a weird jump. And I thought about this. I thought, okay, so if the Bermuda Triangle is our hot spot for time distortions on the planet, and going through a ship or, you know, anything else like that, it could lead one way or another. I thought, how neat would it be? And I wonder, you know, because airplanes aren't necessarily natural. The protectiveness of airplanes aren't necessarily natural. The human body is as natural as you can get. So what if I had signed up to have one of these charter planes that flies directly across the triangle, tow me in like a squirrel suit, you know, like one of them glider suits, tow me on the outside of the plane back behind it, and hopefully we encounter a portal, you know, a vortex of clouds, and we go through it, and I'm not protected by the airplane. And you know, that would be neat to think of what that would be like to experience without any kind of protection, just natural me, natural universe, natural Bermuda Triangle energy, and let's see what happens. And you know, some theories on the idea of what would happen would be, you know, what if I would jump forward in time, you know, myself, you know, and
Right.
and would it go further because there's no protection from a plane or whatever? And obviously, if I did this, it'd be pretty much a one-way thing. And but the thing that keeps me from doing it for sure is, you know, family and everything that I don't want to possibly be 50 years away from. And not to do that, but I don't know. Maybe we need to find somebody who doesn't have that, and strap them in a squirrel suit and see if they want to do my idea.
Or even a hang
because who
glider.
knows, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe even a hang glider.
With the speed of the plane, I don't know. I'm not sure which would hold up better, with a squirrel suit or a hang glider or what. I don't know.
Well,
but
no, if you get somebody crazy enough with boats, and they like parasailing, fully in the distance, kind of like that, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And yeah, the water thing, I'm not so sure about because of what happened to them. I don't want to be stuck on the ocean for 50 years. But the sky thing is that I was interested in. And I think it's a neat idea, and to at least try, because you never know. Next year, maybe the year Amelia Earhart shows back up. I mean, we've all seen those Twilight Zones where, you know, and even heard of, you know, cloud distortions. You know, that's the triangle is not the only place I've ever heard of that happening. I heard of one where this guy circled past a military base, and he saw it for something that it wasn't, and he circled back again and it was normal. And I think this was back in World War I times, and then he became real high in rank and came back to that same military base, you know, and saw it as it was that he saw in his vision some years beforehand. So common consensus there is he had a glimpse into the future, but, you know, had he landed and stayed, you know, who knows what would have happened. And so yeah, that's an idea I had, was being towed behind an airplane through a vortex. Just me. It's something. It's an idea. It sounds like fun, sort of.
I mean, it's definitely pretty wild. It's definitely pretty wild.
I got that natural adventure gene, but then at the same time, a whole lot of common sense. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't. Oh, that's
interesting.
I like what Blue Sasquatch.
Yeah, I like that too.
That is cool. That's, you never know. You never know. It may be a possibility. You know, people evolve.
Well, guys, you guys have anything else to say about this crazy subject?
I say good luck
Not
on
really.
Friday.
I'm gonna do it. I mean, I believe 99.9% that I won't run into my future self, but I also do believe that when I'm 73 years old, I will be watching this. I'll find a way to watch this regardless, because I do want to look back on myself at a younger age.
You know what's going to happen?
No, I don't.
Rebels is going to walk into Walmart, and the greeter is going to be his future self.
That's funny.
He's going to have a job.
Yeah. Welcome to Walmart.
He's already seen his future self.
That's funny.
So another interesting question would be, how do you know that your future self hasn't come back and already encountered you? Like, like in the future, they probably know. Oh, if you want to go back, who knows how attainable it could be.
Well, that's why.
So
that's why I'm
hey,
saying
you're going back, but you cannot. I mean, you could go see yourself again. Maybe lost ones, whatever. Maybe you could go, but you cannot interact with them. So maybe you've seen yourself. Maybe he's seen you recording and hunting.
Well, that's why I'm saying.
Look, I saw this.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying on the video. That's why I'm saying on the video that I would acknowledge them and that I'm ready. You know what I mean? Like I think I would be mentally able to see my future self if that was possible.
And then if your future self shows up and then vanishes, you know you messed up.
Yeah, you screwed it up.
You should definitely communicate like on all lines, like even just to something, even maybe not physical presence, but something possibly digital, like if Thunderstruck were to play over the PA.
Yeah, just something. That's something else too. Yeah, that's something else too. Like if there was some kind of sign that I knew, then I could tell you guys that time travel will be possible.
Listen, if you run into an old guy wearing a Batman ball cap and an AC/DC shirt, I'm just saying.
This Ghostbusters always busted my balls.
Well, I already busted you Friday, so I mean, what else?
That's true. That's true.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Anyway, is that all you guys have? Is there anything else you guys?
Nope, you guys hear my thing. If anybody wants to know how to do that lucid dreaming training, basically, it's so easy.
That's really interesting.
It doesn't take anything. It takes a Sharpie marker. That's it. A Sharpie marker and you developing a small non-negative habit. That's what it takes. And I'll tell you, you just get a hold of me.
Yeah, I used to try and study my dreams when I was a kid. When I was a teenager, I used to read up on dreams. And high school, I was looking up quantum theory. I was a just crazy kid, obsessed with time travel, obsessed with dream analysis. I even took a class in college once for dream analysis. It's some wild stuff.
So have you lost interest in it, Dave, or are you still look into that?
Oh, trust me. Like, have I lost interest? What in dream analysis or time travel or any? No, I'm still into all that stuff. Like I used to actually keep a dream journal, but I don't recall because everyone dreams. It's just that you rarely ever recall your dreams when you wake up.
Yeah.
And if you do, you usually want to write whatever you can remember down because it's going to fade. It's going to fade away.
Right.
It's hard for you to retain all that memory from your dreams. I mean, as a kid, I can remember all different kinds of crazy dreams. I earlier in the stream, I had mentioned that I had once wrote a story about time travel. Well, that began from a dream I had. It wasn't any kind of real science. It was this in the dream, I found this silver arrowhead, and it was like something that was somehow connected it to me, as far as like my spirit and everything. And in the story, it evolved to the point where that was what allowed me to pass through time. And it was connected like with my mind and stuff. It was just this really trippy thing that all started from a weird, freaky dream I had. rolled into it. So
Dude, that's how Twilight started. So, and she's a gazillionaire. So I say go for it.
Hey, Dave would look good as a glittery vampire. I'm just saying.
Yes.
those are fighting words. Vampires are not sparkly.
Some might be.
Yeah, maybe you as a vampire.
I want to see that.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah,
That would definitely
if
be
you guys
something.
want to know that thing,
Hey, Halloween's coming up, Rebels. You can dress up as a sparkly vampire.
I guess so.
I will glitter bomb
Sparkly
him
emo vampire.
in person.
Air Max, anything else, brother?
That's it.
Nothing else?
I mean, just dream away. Definitely try the whole. Dochtav has to tell you how to dream, and actually,
Yeah.
take control of your dreams or whatever.
Well, I'm glad I got to have
Okay.
Dochtav on here today with you gentlemen. I'm glad you guys got to meet Dochtav. I work with him every day. We talk
Yep.
about this kind of stuff every day, and
Or
very
for
cool to have him on
I
here.
told you, I guess Rebels some rules.
Yeah, that's actually where that. Yeah, that's what that originated from. Yes, Dochtav
I
is
got
the
to witness that.
originator of Rebel Some Rules. Yes.
Dochtav, I will pray for you. I'm not really a religious person, but I will pray for you. Because
Oh,
if you
I'm safe.
work with
I'm
this
safe.
guy,
Yeah. I think we've got it figured out, Dochtav. So,
Yeah, we got it handled. We know when and when not to destroy electrical things by accident, purpose, accident.
no rules, some rules.
you just got to blame it on someone else.
Occasional bylaws.
All right, guys. Well, with that being said, you guys all have a good night. Thank you all for hopping on. Have fun collecting, everybody. Air Max, take care. Dochtav, I will see you tomorrow morning, sir. Dave,
See you tomorrow.
it's been real.
Catch you on the flip side.
Good to meet
See
you
y'all
guys.
later.
Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.
Yep, later.
Dochtav, I appreciate you, man. That was awesome. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. All right, buddy. Take care. Well, guys, that's all I got. I hope you all enjoyed it. Something a little different. Something a little different on my channel. For something, where we all just talk about time travel. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching. If there's anything else in the comments here, let me check real quick. I'm sorry I missed so much of the comments. America's Most Wanted? Yeah, hell yeah. Anything else, guys? All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Have fun collecting. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. You guys have a good night.